Hey everybody, it's Chris Seeds, Wootini from the late lamented gaygamer.net. Still forging on with my podcast even though there's no website anymore. This week I've had a cold for like the past week and I'm still not great, so there was not a whole lot of gaming being done this past week. I made like no progress on Tearaway at all. I did, however, make a little bit of progress on Lacroix because I had to travel upstate for my dad's birthday, so I had a long bus ride up to Albany, so I was able to play some more of that. It's funny because I was in the middle of a quest that I had been struggling trying to figure out what to do, and now I'm coming back in like a month or so later, and I really have no idea what I'm supposed to do. So I'm like running around trying to talk to people, and I'm like, okay, I need to find the medicine for the cows. And they're like, oh, he went to go, we don't know where he went. Our boss went to go find the medicine for the cows. He went to go see Dr. So-and-so. I'm like, but wait, the so-and-so family lives in this town, and I've already talked to them. How come I didn't get the medicine from them? What's going on? And I think I'm supposed to look for this guy. I go to that town again, and I go in the house, and I go up to the guy, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, I've already told you everything I know about the legend. And I'm like, I know. You told us all about the legend, and I don't care about that. I care about medicine for my cows. Well, their cows. And I was like, oh, this is so frustrating. I'm going to have to look up online and see what I'm supposed to do. On a whim, on my way out of the house, I'm like, oh, hey, let me go talk to the mom over in the kitchen. I go to talk to the mom, and she turns around. She's wearing a frickin' white lab coat. She's like, oh, hey, I'm a doctor. I'm a veterinarian. I know the cure to fix those cows. If you give me the right ingredients, I can give you the medicine. Oh, hey. And I'm like, oh my god, I am such a sexist pig. I didn't even think the doctor could be the woman. I immediately went to the guy. I am a terrible person. I healed the cows. We're all good. Moving on to the next quest. But I did actually play one brand new game, which you may know about if you happen to have checked my YouTube archive, because I did actually do another Let's Play. I live streamed my playthrough of the Resident Evil 7 demo, because it was announced that when they announced it at E3, they said, hey, it's also available on your PS4 to demo right now. Well, tonight, because I went right now and it wasn't there, and so I was like, okay, it's tonight. So the next morning I went and checked, and I still couldn't find it. Like, it wasn't in like the main menus or anything, and I'm just like, what the heck? I had to do a search for Resident Evil 7 before it actually came up, and I got to the page where you could like pre-order the game, which is ridiculous because it didn't come out till next year. And when I went down further, I found, here's where you could download the demo. And I'm like, well, that was really obnoxious. It's like a game in and of itself to find the demo. So you can actually go and watch me play the Resident Evil 7 demo and whimper like a girl and not want to finish it because I'm too scared. There's this weird, annoying glitch that YouTube did where when you try to watch it, it starts like at the end because there's like this glitch. And it's really annoying because that glitch happens, the video glitch happens right as something scary happens in the game, and it's kind of ruined because it gets all pixely and ruined. But if you just skip back to the beginning, you can watch the whole thing. It's only like 20 minutes long, so it's not terrible. I don't know why people want to watch Let's Play videos, because I don't feel like I want to sit down and watch somebody play a game for 20 minutes, but a lot of people seem to want to sit down and watch me play a game for 20 minutes, so enjoy. There it is. Thoughts. The Resident Evil 7 demo does not feel like Resident Evil at all. There's one point, I mention it in the video, where there's a sound effect that sounds like Resident Evil. That's it. There's no mention of Umbrella, there's no zombies, there's no nothing. It does not... It's first person, it's not a Resident Evil game. It's a little more Silent Hill-y, except it's first person. What it feels like, genuinely, is being in a Hills Have Eyes movie. So I personally love it. because I did not like what's been going on with Resident Evil. It's gotten very actiony, and it's not a survival horror game anymore. It's just an action game. So this, to me, is scary, it's immersive, it's like, what's going on, and to me, that's much more entertaining. So I'm actually looking forward to Resident Evil 7, which is something I haven't said about a Resident Evil game in a really long time. Maybe Code Veronica. Oh, no, I was looking forward to the 3DS one, because it was a news story. Then, because the thing is that if I was at E3, I would have liked to have tried this in VR, because I think that would have been an experience. Like, it was bad enough sitting in my living room with the lights out, but in a VR situation, I think the game would have just, like, made me pee myself, which is awesome. I wish that I was at E3 this year, because I would have been able to try some of these VR demos. Because I'm actually really excited about VR. And Sony gave a big push to VR this year at E3, because, you know, their VR unit is coming out in October, and while I think the initial games are going to be more like the Kinect, where it's like, you know, here's a bunch of minigame collections, eventually I'm hoping there's going to be, you know, actual games with VR support, because it's easier to do that than, like, the Kinect, which was a controller, basically. So it was harder to figure out ways to make that controller work with many games. But here, it's a display option, so it's simply a matter of incorporating VR into your game so that people can play it wearing the headset. So that it's, you know, surrounds you in 3D and it's like, you know, you're in the game. It's perfect for first-person games. So stuff like this Resident Evil demo, or like, you know, I know Bethesda's doing a Fallout 4 VR experience, but I don't want experiences, I want a full game like the Resident Evil. I want, like, give me the new Elder Scrolls game in VR so that I can feel like I'm in that three-dimensional world running around exploring, because that is going to be the shit. Like, that's what I want. Like, I'm a huge 3D fan, I've mentioned that before, and a couple years ago when I tried the Oculus Rift at PAX East, it blew my mind with the realistic 3D graphics, and it was amazing. And I want to play games that are in 3D in my face. It'll also be good because I think I can let my husband watch TV while I sit over there and play the games. And he can laugh at me, because he will. Because he laughs at me when I talk to the games, or when I'm trying to, like, play Tomb Raider and there's a jump and I'm like, ah, and I get up off the couch. He laughs at me. So if I'm sitting there with, like, a headset on going like this, he's gonna just sit there and cackle. It's gonna be really horrible. But I actually hope that VR takes off, and that maybe Sony can drop the price of the VR headset a little bit by next year, so that I can maybe get myself one once there's some games to play on it, because that would be super awesome. Interestingly, at E3, I found myself more intrigued with Sony's offerings than Microsoft's. Like, I personally can't think of a single thing in the Microsoft press conference that I was super excited to play. I was going to say Mass Effect, except Mass Effect was during the EA press conference. But that was literally the only thing I watched. Because I skimmed through the press conferences, because there's a lot of military shooters and sports games that I don't give two craps about, so I just skipped those. So yeah, the brief glimpse we got of Mass Effect, super awesome, looking forward to that. I can't think of a single thing from Microsoft that made me go, ooh, can't wait to play that on my Xbox One. So I think my PS4 is going to get a little more use this year than my Xbox One now. I think my Xbox One's going to collect a lot of dust. But I am looking forward to Horizon Zero Dawn. That looks really awesome. It looks like a futuristic Tomb Raider with some RPG elements, right up my alley. Super excited for that. Although I do wish that, like, the GameStops and Best Buys and Amazons and everybody would stop being like, pre-order it now. I mean, frickin' Sony is like, pre-order Horizon Zero Dawn now, and I'm like, that's not out for over a year. Like, what are you doing? Like, stop. Like, I don't even know if I really want it yet. I'm super excited for it, but I'm not gonna, like, I mean, I guess there are people who are jumping on the hype train and they're like, yeah, pre-order it. And then they'll forget, and then it'll just show up, and they'll be like, oh crap, I just spent $60. I like to wait, see some more about the game, maybe play a demo, see if it's something I'm really interested in, if I like the combat and whatever, and then I will pre-order the game like a month before release. But Horizon Zero Dawn looks like super awesome. I don't even know if I might not have even watched Ubisoft. There wasn't anything in there I was too into. Of course, Nintendo had the game of the show, really. First, I just want to mention Ever Oasis for the 3DS. I'm intrigued by that. It's sort of an action RPG or something where like you have like these Animal Crossing sim town elements where you build your oasis in the desert and you build shops and things, and it's very intriguing. I like the character design and the look of the game, so I'm keeping an eye on that one. But of course, the one that everyone's talking about, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. It just looks gorgeous. It looks amazing. I love the art. I love that it's a slightly cel-shaded kind of style. The world looks immense. It's sort of intimidating how open and huge the world is. So that's a little off-putting, and I do worry that being a huge open world Zelda, I may never finish it, because I have a problem with open world games, like all the Rockstar games, and then the Elder Scrolls games, I tend to get like lost, and I'll just wander around and I'll do these little side quests here and there, and I'll discover little things and whatever, and I tend to lose track of the main storyline, which means I stop caring about the main storyline, and then I kind of lose interest in the game because I'm not in the story anymore. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. I'm also mildly concerned about degradable weapons and armor. That worries me quite a bit. That just seems annoying. I actually don't remember if they mentioned any limit to, like, an encumbrance limit, you know, because that's always the irritating thing in the Elder Scrolls games. Actually, most of the Fallout games, too, the Bethesda, they don't let you carry just everything. Like, and I'm one of those, like, OCD people that just picks up everything, and then I can't walk because I'm carrying too much crap. And I'm like, oh, what can I get rid of? Oh, I guess I can get rid of that. So I'm sort of like, I want to be able to pick up tons of weapon and armor so that when I'm in the middle of a battle and my sword breaks, I can just switch out to a new sword. I don't want to have to be like, oh crap, I have nothing because I couldn't carry anything else. Also, the fact that you have to, like, slicing up grass doesn't give you magical hearts that pop out of the ground. They're trying to be more realistic now, so in order to restore your health, you get your hearts back by, like, eating food and cooking food to get better. You know, like, if you cook food, you can get more hearts. You know, you eat an apple, you get, like, 1/4 of a heart. You cook the apple, you get half a heart. And I'm just like, that seems like a lot of busy work, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of, like, collecting, and a lot of crafting, and a lot of gathering of foraging of supplies, and I'm hoping they've balanced the game so that that doesn't end up taking over and you don't lose the fun of solving the puzzles in the temples and going on your quests and doing what you gotta do. It's Nintendo. I'm pretty sure it'll be okay. The Zelda games tend to be pretty awesome. So fingers crossed for that one. Of course, we have to wait until next year to play it, naturally. And I know a lot of people who are like, I am buying an NX to play this game. And I'm like, yeah, but they're going to release it on the Wii U as well. So I'm probably just going to play it on my Wii U, because I think the only difference is going to be, like, you know, a graphical and processor upgrade. So it might play a little smoother and look a little better on the NX. But if they're making it for the console I already have, I'll just buy the game for that console instead, and it'll be my Wii U's last hurrah. And then eventually they'll have another game that's only on the NX, and then I'll buy my NX. But I can't justify buying a brand new console just to play a game if I can just buy the game for the console I've already got. Do you know what I mean? I don't care so much that it'll be prettier. I mean, unless it's like stunningly prettier, but I can't imagine that's going to be the case. So I think I'll be quite happy with my Wii U Zelda when it releases next year. And I will have other games to tide me over until then. I'm sure that No Man's Sky will hold me over if it eventually ever comes out. August can't come soon enough. I'm supposed to be playing that right now. Alright, not right now, but in a couple of days. Alright, this has gone on way too long. Let me know in the comments what games were shown at E3 that you were intrigued by, especially if it's something that you think I might be interested in, because that's one of the things I miss about E3, is you have all the big booths going, here's this amazing game that you will love, we promise! And you're like, and then you turn the corner and there's like a little thing and you're like, oh, what's that? And there's these little hidden gems. So I need to find those hidden gems. So if you know of any hidden gems that were announced at this year's E3 that didn't get a lot of publicity, let me know what those are, because I might like to know about them. And I will see you back here next week, and I'll talk about more stuff, and have a good time. See you then. Bye.